All right, we'll go ahead and get started. We'll have an opening comment from Coach Malzahn and then take your questions. If you have a question, please indicate in the chat of the Zoom. All right, Coach.
Okay, it's been a very interesting 2 weeks, with the COVID issues we've dealt with the game cancellation and having 2 straight, off weeks. We're looking forward to playing at home, looking forward to playing Tennessee. When you look at them, they got a lot of guys back offensively and defensively on their team. I think they had a 8-game winning streak coming into this season and won the first 2. So, a team that has experience, that has won. They went through a little tough times, but we're expecting their best. And I think from our standpoint, the interesting thing is we are not going to play until 21 days from our last game. We did play our best game, against LSU, and we just need to keep building them with that. And what we're telling our guys is we need to play our best game again. But looking forward to playing at home. Excited. It'll be a night game. Really encourage our students to bring their A game. I think it's got a chance to be a really good one. So, questions?
First question is from Jay Tate.
Yeah, Gus, right now, as of this moment, how many kids are not able to participate due to whatever virus-related stuff?
Yeah, there'll be a few that will not be able to. We'll see, where that goes. I'm not going to get any specifics, but at this point, there'll be a few that won't be available for Saturday.
Can you shed any light as far as are they starters, or can you go into detail like that?
I'm not going to get in details.
All right, next question, Steve Moulton.
Coach, from the last time you saw Jarrett Garantano to now, what kind of development have you seen from the Tennessee quarterback, Coach?
Well, you can tell he's a veteran guy, and he's played a lot of ball. And in our league, there's nothing like experience, especially at the quarterback position, because our league's different than other leagues. And he's played a lot of football and has a lot of experience.
And also, Coach, just moving forward with your defense, coming off their best performance, how have they looked since Friday, practice-wise, Coach?
Well, like I said, it's been an interesting 2 weeks. Last week we had to shut down a couple of days and all that. We did finish practice, at the end of last week. We had some guys out and all that, but we just try to continue to improve in the basic fundamentals. And just really stress and stop the run the football, just, true Auburn football, and playing 60 minutes. That's really been our focus with all of our guys. It's good that we're going to get back in game week routine today. This will be our Tuesday, traditional Tuesday practice. And then, of course, it's just good to get in a routine.
David Pascal's next.
Hey, Gus, going back to that game 2 years ago, you guys did exactly what you wanted in terms of making them one-dimensional, but they converted like 10 third downs, and I think like 4 of them were 3rd and 10s. They converted a lot of 3rd and longs. How frustrating is that to go through a day like that when, like I said, you make them one-dimensional, they just kind of kept making plays on the perimeter?
Yeah, that was a very, very tough loss. There's no doubt, and it was just as all things considered, we turned the ball over and they made some plays when they had to, and we didn't play real well that day, and they had something to do with it, and they played well. That was a tough loss, and so we're glad to be having another chance to play them again.
And given all the physical receivers that are always in the SEC, how have your DBs done in regards to that this year?
Yeah, I think they've done a good job. We got some new guys back there, and I think they responded well. The older guys have really shown really good leadership, and you've seen that group improve. And we've faced some really good receivers so far, and I think our guys have handled themselves really well when we did that on the back end.
Thank you.
Next is Jordan Hill.
Gus, you mentioned it'll have been 21 days by the time you guys get to Saturday. What are the things you feel like the players got to kind of keep in mind on Saturday to sort of get back into the flow of playing in a game?
Yeah, I think this week is big as far as just that game week routine and knowing for sure you're playing and who you're playing and all that. But I think more than anything, it's routine, flipping the switch and getting your mind and body ready to go. And I really have no doubt in my mind our guys will be ready. We just need to have a good week of practice.
Jason Caldwell's next.
Gus, you talked about obviously this week having to get some different guys prepared, especially on defense. When you look at it, how much of a challenge is that when you could potentially be facing 3 different quarterbacks? Is that up the ante a little bit for those guys on defense?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. It's such an interesting year that, everything's a little different anyway, and the fact that you may see some different quarterbacks is probably not as big a deal this year as some years, just because you got to be prepared for all the different challenges. But, it is probably good that we had a little extra time to prepare, which they have extra time to prepare also.
Next is Nathan King.
Hey, Gus. Hey, I was just kind of wondering, players that are in quarantine, how much are they allowed to leave their place? What does that kind of look like for them other than just the day-to-day stuff of obviously meetings and whatnot? How much are they really allowed to do?
Yeah, they're in quarantine. I mean, they're pretty much by themselves and just making sure everything goes well and, trying to keep those guys as safe and healthy as possible.
Next is Justin Ferguson.
Hey, guys, the last time y'all played against LSU, defensive line stopped the run, got to the passer a whole lot more. How important is that to build off of that for this week after a couple weeks off, considering how much talent Tennessee's got up front?
You're exactly right. They are talented. They have some experience too, up front. So we'll have to continue to do that. You can turn the film on. You can see they're very talented up front. So, that's just part of building each week, and the uniqueness of not playing in 21 days in the regular season. I mean, that's a different deal. But, like I said, practice-wise, you got to continue to stay sharp and keep building upon, your last game.
How much of a difference has it made that group, specifically the defensive line's gotten healthier and some of those younger guys are playing more?
Yeah, there's no doubt. There's nothing like depth, especially when you're playing conference games in this league. And we are getting a little healthier, and some of the young guys are starting to get more experience. I told them the other day that all of our young guys are no longer freshmen in my mind. They got 6 SEC games under their belt, and so we just need to continue to grow.
Brian Matthews is next.
Yeah, Gus, thanks for speaking to us. How much did you guys have to prepare for the possibility of playing a different team through Monday night? And do you feel like you already have game plans ready for Alabama, Texas A&M, and Mississippi State if you have to switch up?
No, we never thought about playing anybody else but Tennessee, since, probably Wednesday of last week. I know there's rumors and all that. You got to be flexible, but, we're going to deal with the facts and that we really never flinch. Now, at the same time, you got off the field guys that usually work a week ahead anyway, and you just got to be flexible and you got to be prepared for the what ifs. So that's just part of the new normal. The teams, I've said this all along, that adjust and adjust and stay focused and not get caught up in all the stuff. I think they're going to have an advantage, and so that's really our mindset, what it's been. But we've not put our focus on anybody but Tennessee since early last week.
Thank you.
Next is Mark Murphy.
Can you sense the players are eager to play a game again after being out for so long from a game action?
No doubt. I mean, they're just ready to get back and play. Like I said, it was just really strange from the standpoint that we dealt with the COVID. We didn't practice for a couple of days, and we found out we weren't playing, and you have a new opponent, and that's a lot of stuff. And so our guys, like I said, the best thing about it, we're back in game week routine. We're playing a team that I think is a talented team, and a team that came in here and gave us a very, very tough loss 2 years ago for the older guys who were part of that. So, like I said, we're ready to get back on the field, especially playing at home. Like I said, playing at night, and then playing against a team that we're looking forward to playing.
Is this one of those weeks you're going to count on your team leaders to make sure everybody takes it seriously, even though Tennessee on a little losing streak?
This year is you're taking everybody serious. I mean, yeah, we will rely on our leaders, but you can't overlook anyone. And like I said, they got the majority of their guys back, from last year, and they had a 6 or 8 game win streak. So, we got to have our A game every single week. We're taking it one game at a time. I know that sounds like coach speak. That's exactly what we're doing. We have respect for them. Like I said, 2 years ago, they came in here and knocked us off. And so we this is the next game up. And like I said, we played our best game 2 weeks ago. We got to keep building upon it. And it's really as simple as that. And, so I think our guys will not be overlooking anyone and be ready to play.
Thanks.
Follow up from Jordan Hill.
Guys, Tennessee's run game has been one of their strengths, and they've had a couple of running backs that have stood up and kind of led the way for them this year. What stands out to you about their run game? What's that challenge going to be like for you guys, especially after y'all played so well against the run against LSU?
Yeah, well, we just talked about they got some talented guys up front. The running backs run hard. It looks like they're committed to the run. A lot of games, you can tell they're very, very committed to the run, and I assume they'll still be the same way against us. So I think that'll be a big key to the game on stopping the run.
Steve Moulton.
Coach, from the last round of COVID test, did you have any positives?
No, we haven't.
How comfortable do you feel moving forward with, you mentioned it last week in particular, of kind of getting back into a rhythm and feeling comfortable moving forward, Coach?
Yeah, how comfortable? I don't know if anybody can say they're comfortable. I mean, just from the standpoint, I guess the good thing is we actually experienced a very, very similar thing in fall camp. But, you're in the middle of the season. And so I don't think there's any such thing, at least from our end, as far as feeling comfortable. I mean, each time you test, you're just hoping that everything comes out okay so you can have your players available. So, but I don't think there's any such thing right now as being comfortable.
We got two more. Our first is from David Pascal.
Gus, I know you were asked Sunday night about game number 100 that you'll be coaching in. Just curious what you thought about how difficult that is just to reach that number when you think about a coaching change this week at South Carolina and Tennessee, the team you're playing. Philip Fulmer would have been their last one to reach 100, and that was 12 years ago since he's been coaching. So just how tough it is to reach that number.
Yeah, I mean, when I think of it that way, I mean, just how blessed I am to be the head coach at Auburn and how many great players that I've been able to coach and, win some football games. So just real blessed and real honored and looking forward to coaching the 100th game.
Our last question is from James in Oregon.
Actually, I had a legitimate football question for you.
Wow, this is going to be a good one here.
No, I'm working on something unrelated, but I did have to actually come to you, believe it or not. Working on something in the RPO and the origins of the RPO. Obviously, I know of the pop pass in 2013 Iron Bowl, but what was your origins with it? When did you first start using it?
Yeah, that particular play you're talking about, I think we started running like the triple option version in like 2011 when I was a coordinator here, and then we went to Arkansas State and tried to build upon it, and then 13, obviously the big play that really kind of, I think, changed a lot of things was the one in the Iron Bowl with 30 seconds left, and it was just the triple option version. It wasn't like a RPO as far as staying in the pocket and progressing. It was just the triple option where you can give it, you can keep it, or you can throw it, and so really that's that particular play and the origin of that.
Do you remember when you were first exposed to whether it be the triple option version on that pass or the pop pass or on RPOs in general, where it kind of comes from?
I don't know. All I can speak for the particular play that we started running in 11. I don't know. You probably have a better idea of that than I do.
Well, I'm working on something on Joe Moorhead, so I was looking on his background and experience. He talks about doing something at Akron in 06, so I was that's why I was curious.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it.